Today we're going to talk about division. We're going to talk about the basic concept of division today. Two different ways to think about it, the sharing model and the subtractive model. The sharing model is what most people think of when they think of division. One for you and one for me and one for my friend. One for you and one for me and one for my friend. Where you take the total number of things you have and you share them out among a given number of people. So let's illustrate the sharing model with our base 10 blocks. Just for fun, we're going to pretend these are cookies, just to make it a little bit more fun. And we're going to have, we've got 24 cookies divided by 4, and the sharing model means that I'm going to share them between 4 people. So I've got person number 1, person number 2, person number 3, and person number 4. In the sharing model, I just get my 4 circles there representing 4 people, and I begin sharing them. I move 1 into each circle. Oops. And I move another 1 into each circle. Another 1 into each circle. And so I just keep giving each person 1, each circle 1, until I have used them all up. And in this model, my answer is, how many did each person get? Which, if I count in each circle, there are 6 cookies. So my answer is 6, and it means that each person gets 6 cookies, or whatever it happens to be that we're sharing. So in the sharing model, the answer is, how many does each person get? Right. The subtractive model looks at division, the same problem, with a different concept. In this case, it might be something like, Mom is packing lunches for the kids, and she decides to put 4 cookies into each person's lunch. How many lunch bags can she fill with cookies? So in this case, we don't know how many groups to make because we don't know how many lunch bags she's going to fill. So let's start off by drawing a lunchbox, and we're going to put 4 cookies into it. It's called the subtractive model because basically what we're doing is taking the total number that we have and we're subtracting out 4 at a time. So there's lunch bags 1. I've taken 4 away from my group. I make another lunch bag, and I take 4 more away from my group. And I make another lunch bag, and I keep doing this until I get all of my cookies distributed into lunch bags. Okay, I've sugar cookies left, so we'll have another lunch bag. Lunch bag. So in the subtractive model, we are taking out groups of a certain size, 1 at a time, and the answer is, how many of those groups was I able to make? And again, my answer is 6. The answer doesn't change, but what the answer represents changes. In the sharing method, the answer represents how many each person gets. In the subtractive model is how many, in this case, lunches could Mom pack? So we've got 6 lunches. And if I put 4 cookies in every lunch, she can pack 6. Right? Now, let's just think for a minute about remainders in both of these models. What does a remainder mean? Well, let's, just to make it simple so we don't have to redo everything, let's do something simple like 26 divided by 4. Okay. I've already got 24 cookies, so let me get 2 more cookies. Okay. And so if I had started off with 26 cookies, subtracting out 4 at a time, I would have filled 6 lunch bags, and I would have had 2 cookies left. Now, can I make another lunch bag? No, because the rules say I have to put 4 cookies in every lunch bag. So what happens to the cookies? Well, the simplest answer is that they're left over. And for the most part, that's what a remainder means. A remainder means that they're left over, that you cannot do with them whatever you did with all the rest of them. Right? So, in this case, Mom could bake 6 lunches, and she would have 2 cookies left for herself, for her lunch. Now, she's not quite as lucky as the kids who are going to school, because she only gets 2 cookies and everybody else got 4. But they're just left over. Right? In the sharing model, what does a remainder mean? Let's do the same problem. We've got 26 divided by 4. Right down here. For our remainder, that there were 2 cookies left over. Well, let's go back to our sharing model, which means we need to get rid of our lunch boxes. Now I have 26 cookies. And what does my sharing model say? It says that I've got 4 friends that I want to share. Or 4 of us, 3 friends and me, that want to share cookies. So there's my sharing model. In my sharing model, I know how many groups I'm going to have, but I don't know how many goes into each group. So let's see, I've got 2 in that group. So let's start out making it a little easier. I know I've got quite a few cookies, so I can probably put 2 in every group. Looks like I've got enough to put 2 more in every group. Now I'm not sure, so let's put them in one at a time, because I don't want to give anybody too many. Oh, looks like I could have done 2. And again, the remainder basically means the same thing. It means that each person gets 6 cookies. Remainder 2, it means 2 left over. Okay. Now, we could do this in the lunchbox too, but it's probably more likely going to happen if you're actually sharing cookies with your friends. What are you going to do with those 2 cookies? You're going to break them up into pieces and give each friend a piece. So if I've got 2 cookies left, very simply, I just break each cookie in half, and each person gets a half of a cookie. So sometimes a remainder is written as a fraction, which in this case it would be 6, everybody gets 6 and 1/2 cookies. So when you're thinking about division and the different kinds of problems, the sharing model tells me how many, you already know how many groups there are, and it tells me how many of the object each person gets. The subtractive model, I know how many each person's going to get, but I don't know how many people can get it. Carol.